Shocking truth. The grey hair lies that are stealing your confidence. After 50. Are you over 50 and terrified that embracing your grey hair means surrendering your femininity forever? What if I told you that everything you've been taught about aging gracefully is sabotaging your most beautiful years? Stop believing the myth that grey hair equals invisible right now, if you want to reclaim your power and magnetism. I'm about to reveal the 5 devastating mistakes that are keeping millions of American women over 50 trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and diminished confidence. These aren't just beauty blunders, they're identity destroyers that rob you of the radiance you've earned through decades of life experience. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the conventional wisdom about mature beauty is not just wrong, but dangerously limiting. Here's what nobody tells you about the grey hair revolution happening across America right now. While the beauty industry continues to profit from our insecurities, a quiet rebellion is taking place in boardrooms, coffee shops, and suburban neighborhoods from coast to coast. Women who once felt invisible are reclaiming their narrative, and grey hair has become their crown of confidence. But here's the catch. Most women are doing it all wrong. They're making critical errors that transform what should be their most empowering life phase into years of frustration and diminished self-worth. I've spent over 2 decades studying the psychology of aging, beauty, and confidence, and I've identified the exact patterns that separate women who thrive after 50 from those who merely survive. The psychology behind our grey hair. Fear. Before we dive into these life-changing mistakes, let's address the elephant in the room. American society has programmed us to believe that visible aging, particularly grey hair, signals the end of our relevance. This programming runs so deep that many women would rather endure hours in a salon chair every 6 weeks, spending thousands of dollars annually, than face their natural hair color. But here's what the research reveals. And this might shock you. Studies conducted by the University of California found that women who embrace their natural grey hair report 34% higher levels of self-confidence and 28% better overall life satisfaction compared to those who continue coloring. These women also scored higher on measures of authenticity and personal power. The reason is profound, yet simple. When we stop fighting our natural aging process, we redirect that energy into areas where we can create positive change, our health, relationships, career aspirations, and personal growth. Grey hair becomes a symbol not of decline, but of liberation from society's impossible beauty standards. Mistake number 5, the abandonment myth. The most psychologically damaging mistake women make is believing that embracing grey hair equals giving up on themselves. This couldn't be further from the truth. Yet this belief system is reinforced everywhere, from magazine covers to movie casting to workplace dynamics. Let me share Sarah's story. At 53, Sarah was a successful marketing executive in Chicago who had been coloring her hair religiously for 15 years. When the pandemic hit and salons closed, she was forced to see her natural grey for the first time in decades. Instead of rushing back to her colorist when restrictions lifted, something remarkable happened. Sarah noticed that her grey hair had a luminous quality she'd never appreciated. More importantly, she realized how much mental energy she'd been dedicating to hair appointments, root touch-ups, and the constant anxiety about her grey roots showing. Sarah's decision to embrace her natural color wasn't about giving up. It was about redirecting her focus toward what truly mattered. She used the time previously spent in salons to pursue a master's degree, which led to a promotion and a 40% salary increase. Her grey hair became a symbol of her priorities, shifting from superficial concerns to substantial personal growth. This is the paradigm shift that changes everything. Embracing grey hair isn't about lowering your standards, it's about raising them. You're choosing authenticity over artifice, substance over superficiality. You're making a statement that your worth isn't tied to your ability to maintain the illusion of youth. However, the transition requires strategic thinking. Many women make the mistake of going cold turkey without any plan, leading to months of awkward growth phases that shake their confidence. The key is creating a transition strategy that maintains your sense of style throughout the process. Professional colorists now offer gray blending techniques that gradually reduce the contrast between your natural and colored hair over several appointments. This approach honors both your desire for authenticity and your need to feel confident during the transition. Alternatively, strategic haircuts can minimize the visual impact of growing gray roots while you decide on your long-term approach. Mistake number 4, the makeup time warp. One of the most overlooked aspects of embracing gray hair is how it changes your entire color palette. Women who successfully navigate this transition understand that their makeup routine must evolve alongside their hair color. This isn't about aging yourself with makeup. It's about harmonizing your entire look to create cohesion and sophistication. The science behind this is fascinating. As we age, our skin loses some of its natural pigmentation, and gray hair further reduces the overall contrast in our appearance. Continuing to use the same bold colors that worked with darker hair can now overwhelm your features or create harsh lines where you want softness. Consider Linda, a 58-year-old real estate agent from Phoenix. For years, she wore deep burgundy lipstick and dark brown eyeshadow, colors that complemented her artificially darkened hair beautifully. When she transitioned to natural gray, these same colors suddenly made her look severe and tired. The transformation came when she discovered that softer, warmer tones enhanced her natural coloring more effectively than her previous bold choices. The key insight here goes beyond mere color coordination. As mature women, we have the opportunity to embrace a more refined approach to beauty that emphasizes our best features rather than trying to recreate our younger selves. This doesn't mean becoming invisible. It means becoming more authentically visible. Contemporary makeup techniques for women over 50 focus on creating luminosity and warmth. Instead of heavy foundations that can settle into fine lines, we're using tinted moisturizers and strategic concealer placement. Rather than dramatic eyeshadow, we're using neutral tones that make our eyes appear larger and brighter. The goal isn't to look younger, it's to look like the most polished, confident version of ourselves. Interestingly, many women discover that embracing age-appropriate makeup makes them appear more vibrant than when they were trying to recreate their 30-year-old look. There's something powerful about a woman who knows who she is and presents herself accordingly. Mistake number 3, the wardrobe disconnect. Perhaps no mistake is more immediately visible than failing to update your wardrobe to complement your gray hair. This goes far beyond simple color coordination. It's about understanding how your entire aesthetic has evolved and dressing to honor that evolution. Gray hair brings with it a natural elegance and sophistication that can be either enhanced or undermined by clothing choices. Colors that once energized your look might now compete with your hair for attention, while others that you never considered might suddenly make you glow. The traditional advice suggests that gray-haired women should stick to a narrow palette of navy, black, and white. This advice is not only outdated, but limiting. Modern color theory for mature women recognizes that gray hair can actually handle a broader range of colors than many younger women can wear, but the key is choosing the right undertones and intensities. Take Margaret, a 61-year-old artist from Portland, who discovered that her newly gray hair created the perfect backdrop for jewel tones she'd never been able to wear with her previous auburn hair. Deep emerald greens, rich sapphire blues, and even certain shades of purple now made her skin appear luminous rather than washed out. The secret lies in understanding your color analysis in combination with your gray hair's unique characteristics. Cool-toned grays tend to be flattered by colors with blue or purple undertones, while warm-toned grays harmonize beautifully with colors that have yellow or golden undertones. But this mistake goes beyond color selection. Many women fail to adjust their style lines and proportions to complement their mature figures. The goal isn't to hide your body, it's to dress it with intention and sophistication. Well-fitted clothing that skims rather than clings, strategic use of accessories to draw attention to your best features, and classic silhouettes that emphasize elegance over trendiness all contribute to a cohesive, confident presentation. The investment in updating your wardrobe pays dividends in confidence and how others perceive you professionally and personally. Women who dress to complement their gray hair report feeling more respected in professional settings and more confident in social situations. Mistake number 2: the hair care evolution. Gray hair isn't just different in color, it's structurally different from pigmented hair, requiring a completely different care approach. Many women make the mistake of treating their gray hair exactly like their previously colored hair, leading to dullness, dryness, and an overall lackluster appearance that reinforces negative stereotypes about aging. The science is clear. Gray hair lacks melanin, the pigment that not only provides color, but also contributes to hair's natural moisture retention and protection against environmental damage. This means gray hair is naturally more porous, more susceptible to yellowing from environmental factors, and requires more intensive moisturizing treatments. However, this challenge presents an opportunity. When properly cared for, gray hair can achieve a luminosity and dimension that colored hair simply cannot match. The key is understanding and embracing its unique properties rather than fighting against them. Professional trichologists now recommend a completely different approach to gray hair care. Purple-toned shampoos aren't just cosmetic, they're corrective treatments that neutralize the yellow and brassy tones that can make gray hair appear dingy. Weekly deep conditioning treatments become essential rather than optional, and heat protection becomes even more critical. Let me share the story of Patricia, a 55-year-old teacher from Atlanta. When she first stopped coloring her hair, she was disappointed by its dull, wiry texture. She almost returned to coloring until her daughter suggested she consult a specialist in gray hair care. The transformation was remarkable. With the right products and techniques, Patricia's gray hair became lustrous, soft, and full of movement. Colleagues began asking if she'd had professional treatments, when in reality, she was simply caring for her hair according to its actual needs, rather than her assumptions about what it needed. The investment in proper gray hair care pays immediate dividends in appearance and long-term dividends in hair health. Women who make this adjustment often find that their hair becomes stronger and more manageable than it had been in years, even when they were coloring it. Mistake number 1: the transition without strategy. The most critical mistake, and the one that causes most women to abandon their gray hair journey, is attempting the transition without a comprehensive strategy. This isn't just about hair. It's about managing a significant identity shift that affects how you see yourself and how others perceive you. The women who successfully navigate this transition understand that it's a process requiring patience, planning, and support. They don't just stop coloring their hair and hope for the best. They create a comprehensive plan that addresses the practical, emotional, and social aspects of this change. From a practical standpoint, successful transitions often involve working with professionals who understand the unique challenges of growing out gray hair. This might mean strategic color blending during the transition period, carefully planned haircuts that minimize the awkward phases, and a complete reassessment of your overall beauty routine. But the emotional aspect is equally important. The decision to embrace grey hair often triggers deeper questions about aging, relevance, and self-worth. Women who thrive during this transition often find it helpful to connect with communities of other women making similar choices, whether online or in person. The support and encouragement of others who understand the challenges can make the difference between successfully embracing your natural hair and retreating to artificial color out of frustration. Consider the story of Janet, a 52-year-old attorney from Seattle. Her gray transition coincided with her divorce, making it feel like a complete life reinvention rather than just a hair decision. Initially overwhelming, this timing became empowering. As Janet learned to love and care for her natural hair, she also learned to prioritize her own needs and preferences over others' expectations. Her gray hair became a symbol of her newfound independence and self-determination. The social aspect can't be ignored either. American workplace culture, social dynamics, and even family relationships can create pressure to maintain artificially youthful appearances. Successful gray hair transitions often involve having conversations with important people in your life about your decision and its meaning to you. This isn't about seeking permission. It's about creating understanding and support for your choice. The confidence revolution. Throughout my research and personal observation, I've noticed something remarkable about women who successfully embrace their gray hair after 50. They don't just look different, they carry themselves differently. There's a confidence and authenticity that radiates from women who have made peace with their natural aging process. This confidence isn't just internal, it has measurable external effects. Studies show that confident women are perceived as more competent in professional settings, more attractive in social situations, and more influential in their communities. The decision to embrace gray hair, when done strategically and with intention, can enhance rather than diminish your power. The key is understanding that this transition is about addition, not subtraction. You're not losing your youthful beauty. You're gaining mature sophistication. You're not becoming invisible. You're becoming authentically visible. You're not giving up on attractiveness. You're redefining it on your terms. Your gray hair action plan. As we wrap up this transformative journey through the 5 critical mistakes that sabotage gray hair transitions, remember that knowledge without action remains merely interesting information. The women who transform their lives through embracing their natural hair are those who take deliberate, strategic steps toward their goals. Start by honestly assessing where you currently stand. Are you making any of these 5 mistakes? Most women find they're making at least 2 or 3 without realizing it. The good news is that each mistake represents an opportunity for immediate improvement and increased confidence. If you're considering the transition to gray hair, begin with research and planning. Consult with professionals who specialize in mature women's beauty needs. Build a support network of women who encourage your authentic self-expression. Most importantly, remember that this journey is yours to make at your own pace and in your way. For those already embracing gray hair but struggling with confidence, revisit your approach to the 4 supporting elements: makeup, wardrobe, hair care, and transition strategy. Small adjustments in these areas can create dramatic improvements in how you look and feel. The ultimate lesson here transcends hair color entirely. At 50 and beyond, we have the opportunity to define beauty, success, and fulfillment on our terms rather than society's terms. Gray hair can be the gateway to this liberation, but only if we approach it with wisdom, strategy, and self-compassion. Your gray hair isn't a consolation prize for aging. It's a badge of honor for surviving and thriving through decades of experience. Wear it with the pride and confidence it deserves, supported by the knowledge and strategies that ensure you look and feel magnificent. Remember, Queens, Maui, you're not growing older, you're growing bolder. Your grey hair is simply the crown that proves it.